Hello, 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 everyone. How are you all? How are you all? Come on in, come on in. I pray that you had as fabulous of a weekend as I had. I had the opportunity to speak to women at the Women of Purpose High Angel, to the women at the women who attended Women of Purpose over the weekend in Houston, Texas. What a fabulous time, fabulous time we had. If you are in the Patterson, Louisiana area this Saturday, thank you, Ramon. I can always count on you for the hearts. Thank you so much. The Patterson, Louisiana area this Saturday, please join me for the women's conference there. Begins at 9 a.m. this Saturday, which is the 28th at Good Hope Baptist Church in Patterson, Louisiana. Welcome to everyone. And as always, while the audience is building, as always, I invite you to join me on Sundays at 1:15 or at 2 p.m. for an empowering word. Okay, we want to look at something that I hear frequently from people. People say this: I heard, they said, he said, she said. I heard, they said, he said, she said. Go ahead and share the broadcast. Please share the broadcast with others. So when people make that statement, either they say they said, I heard, he said, or she said, I know it's having an impact on them, because you would not be repeating what they said, he said, she said, or what you heard. And I want you to just think about, for the next few minutes, am I governing my life by what has been said? Am I governing my life by what has been said? Am I believing for something greater? Am I believing for something more? Do I have a desire and a passion for something and I'm working toward it, but I have allowed myself to be crippled by what they said, or what I heard they said, or what he said, she said? Has that prevented me from moving forward and in the direction I should be going in, because I am concerned about what they said, or I heard they said, or he said, she said? Are you following what I'm saying? Go ahead and share the broadcast. Are you following what I'm saying? Is it affecting your life, what they said? Let me give you an example. Of where I'm going. The scriptures that I'm going to read is very familiar. I know you've heard it taught before. If you have, listen as if you've heard it for the first time. If you have not, then I'm going to break it down to you from an angle that I never thought of before. Go ahead and share the broadcast. When we look at Numbers 13, it's talking about the promised land and the Israelites moving forward or not moving forward. Just listen to this. When we look at Numbers 13, let's look at verse 23. Then they came to the valley of Eshcol, and there cut down a branch with one cluster of grapes. They carried it between two of them on a pole. So they're carrying a cluster of grapes on a pole. Now I want you got to stay with me while we unravel this. They're carrying grapes on a pole. They also brought some of the pomegranates and figs. The place was called the Valley of Eshcol. So spies are in the land, in the promised land. And thank you for putting Numbers 13 up there for me. Spies are carrying the fruit in the promised land that they're going to bring back to show people. Spies have been sent out to look at the promised land. God promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob back in Genesis, you will have the promised land. You will have the promised land. That was the promise. You will have the promised land. So all the Israelites had to do was walk into the promised land, and they decide to send out 12 spies. So when we get here to Numbers 13 and we see verses 23 and 24, it talks about them bringing back the grapes, or the grapes that they see. The grapes are so plentiful that they're having to hold it on a pole, more than one person. That's how plentiful. Stay with me as we unravel it. Then when we get to verse 26, they departed. They come back to Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel, and they're going to give a report. 27. Then they told him and said, we went to the land where you sent us. These are the spies. 12 spies are talking. They're coming back and give a report. Stay with me. Don't. I want you to catch this. We went to the land where you sent us. It truly flows with milk and honey. This is its fruit. What fruit? They're carrying the pomegranates. They're carrying the grapes, all letting them know all of the wonderful things that's in the land. Look what it says. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south. The Hittites, the Jebusites, the Amorites dwell in the mountains. They're giving them a report. They get to verse 30. Caleb quieted the people and he says, Moses, let us go up at once and take possession, for we are all well able to overcome it. So they bring back the fruit. Caleb says, hey, let's go take the land. We're well able. Verse 31. But the men who had gone up with him said, we're not able to go up against the people, for they're stronger than we are. And they gave the children of Israel a bad report of the land which they had spied out, saying, the land though which we have gone as spies is a land that devours its inhabitants. All the people who we saw are men of great stature. They're like giants. We're like grasshoppers. Okay. 12 spies go spy out the land. They're told to come back and give a report. The land that they go to spy out is land that is promised to them. All they have to do is walk in the land, but yet they want to send spies. God grants them permission to send these 12 spies, and these 12 spies are to bring a report back. What am I talking about tonight? They said, I heard, he said, she said. The question on the floor is what I've heard, they said, impeding? Is it an impediment of me moving forward? Is it preventing me from moving forward? They come back and give a report. 12. 10 give a bad report. 2 give a good report. So the people take what they heard to make their decision. I want you to catch that. The people take what they hear from the spies to make their decision. Although they bring back the fruit from the land, although in scripture it talks about, yes, this land that was promised to us truly flows with milk and honey, the people get hung up on what they hear. I want you to catch that. Beloved, this is my question. Do you desire something more than what you have? Have you decided, thank you for sharing, you all, have you decided that you're going to move forward in an area, but in the back of your mind is what they said? In the back of your mind, is it what you heard that's keeping you from moving forward? Are you not moving forward based on what they said, based on what you heard? Although they bring back all of this wonderful stuff, it only takes 2 people or out of the 12 that gives a good report, and the other 10 that give the bad report. And the people, the Israelites, although they have the promise, do not move forward based on what they heard. They didn't even see it for themselves. I want you to catch this. They didn't even see it for themselves. They are taking somebody else's word. Ask yourself the question. What direction do I want to go in? Where am I going? What do I desire? What do I want more of? Am I not moving because of what somebody said? Am I not going forward because of what somebody said? Am I not moving forward because of what I heard? Am I not even trying or taking the risk because of what he said and she said and they said and what I heard? That's important. Beloved, you've got to be really careful who you share and seek advice from and with. Because let me define 4 people for you. Go ahead and share the broadcast. if you share your desire, your goal, your passion, or what God has revealed and showed you, or the direction you want to go in with somebody who's a coward, their response will come from a coward's place. It will come from a coward's mindset. We see that in scripture. 10 people out of all the fruit, the milk and the honey, they say, wait a minute. There are giants in the land. They're bigger than us. We look like grasshoppers in their sight. So they're commenting because they're fearful. So if you're sharing that with a person who you already know is a coward, they're going to say something from a coward's perspective, from a coward's mindset, and it can prevent you from moving forward. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they're coward by nature. If you share with a person who's not motivated and they're a little lazy, their conversation with you is going to go like this. Well, how much time that's going to take you to do it? Oh, that's going to take you how many years? How long? How much time? How long you think that's going to take you? How many hours a day? Oh, you're going to have to do that on weekends? You mean to tell me you're going to have to do that between your job, or you planning to quit your job and put all of your hours there? That's going to be their conversation. So if you're sharing it with a person who's not motivated, they can affect you from moving forward, but they're coming to you from the place where they are. That makes sense? You cannot let people stop you from moving forward based on what they said or based on what you heard. Am I making that clear? I don't know. I feel like I want to make sure you're understanding what I'm saying. The Israelites did not move forward based on what they heard. Are you understanding that? Okay, so if you share it with a coward is only going to give you a coward's perspective. If you share it with a lazy person or a person who's not motivated, they're going to come to you from an angle of not being motivated. If you share it with a person who has a lack or a poverty mindset, the conversation is going to be about money, because when you share it with them, they're going to say to you, how much will that cost? How much money will you have to invest? Are you sure you can afford it? Everything is going to be about money. So are you going to get hung up on what they said? If you share it with a person who's negative, they're going to give you negative feedback. Oh, you don't want to be a part of that. Why would you want to do that, man? I heard somebody said that didn't even work. I understand so-and-so tried that. That didn't work. Why would you get hung up on what they said? You've got to ask yourself the question, am I not moving forward in what God has shown me? Am I not pushing to my purpose and my passion? Am I not taking the risk? Am I not going into the promise because of what they said? I just, when I read the text, it's just unbelievable to me that it's this many people that, and you send them to spy, and it's hundreds of thousands of people. They take the report of what they said and they do not move forward, even though the promise is there. Even though the promise is there, they do not move forward. Because of what they said. They're concerned about what if somebody could just please tell me the they. But they're not moving forward because of what they said. They're not moving forward because of what they heard. You've got to be really careful who you share what with. What type of personality? Because people will come from the place where they are. They will come from the place where they are. If it's a poverty mindset, that's where they will come from. If it's a jealousy mindset, that's where they will come from. If it's a negative mindset, that's where they will come from. When they answer you, they're coming from that place. You've got to be really careful that you're not embracing. So what happens when we jump over to Numbers 14 and we look at verse 23? The Lord tells them, none of you are going in. Joshua and Caleb will. But you all are not going in because you are stuck at what you heard them say. Beloved, you mean to tell me you're going to stay at a certain place in your life and not ever pursue that thing? You know the thing. And you know why I say that? Because God puts it in all of us. He puts a desire, a passion, and a purpose in all of us. So are you not going to move forward? Are you going to miss it in this lifetime? In this lifetime, are you going to miss it because you are stuck on what they said or what they're going to say, or what you heard what they said, or you heard what he said, or you heard what she said? So I'm not going to move forward because of what they said. And the Lord told them right there in Numbers 14:23, he says, y'all are not going to even go. And then when we get to verse 40, he said, I know what? For every day that the land was spied out, which was 40 days, you're going to wander in the wilderness for 40 years. So, 2 questions. If you're stuck on what they say, what they said, what they're going to say. So am I not going to do it and not go in like the Israelites? Or am I going to just wander and wander and wander and wander? Because I keep replaying in my mind what they said, what I heard they said, or what I think they will say. Go ahead and share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. Please, please share the broadcast. So am I stuck? Am I stuck? Whew. Because I'm so crippled by what they said. And I find that we're living in times where we're valuing so much value in other people's opinions of the steps that are ordered for me. So you want to be careful who you have as your team. You want to be careful who you consider your source, who you consider a confidant, who you consider valuable about the direction you're going in. This is your prescription for the week. I've asked the questions. I'm going to ask them again. Have I not moved forward because of what someone said? Have I not moved forward because of what I heard they said, he said, she said? Am I not moving forward because I'm concerned about what they will say? And so because that is stronger and I'm listening and hearing that louder and I'm allowing it to play louder than my own voice, if that's the case, then I'm preventing myself from moving forward. This has to be your position. This is your prescription. And I want you to say it over and over and over again, because faith comes by hearing, until you believe it. In spite of what I heard they said, I'm moving forward. Type that on your Facebook page. In spite of what I heard they said, I'm moving forward. In spite of what I think they will say, I'm moving forward. In spite of what they said, I'm moving forward. In spite of what they will say, I'm moving forward, because I will not allow my life to be affected about what they said or what they say. The Israelites couldn't move forward. They got caught up. They could hear the reports. They heard the good, and then they heard some negative, and they would not move forward based on what they heard. And they never took the chance. They never took the risk. They didn't see it for themselves. They made their decision based on what they heard, based on what was said. Beloved, don't let that keep you from moving forward. What they say, what they said, what you heard, what he said, or what she said. Do not allow that to keep you from moving forward. Go ahead and put that on your Facebook page. In spite of what they said, I'm moving forward. In spite of what I think they will say, I'm moving forward. In spite of what I heard, I am moving forward. I'm moving forward in spite of. Until next time, God bless you. I love you. Please share the broadcast.